Greetings, Pisces. This is your reading for the full moon in Sagittarius, which is happening as we speak at this current time for Pisces. General themes, general storyline, of which these are symbolic stories, aren't they? So take what resonates, leave what doesn't. As always, thanks for all your shares, likes, and all of that. It subscribes, it helps to keep this channel going. So let's see, we're going to use a few decks. We'll clarify as always. If you haven't joined me before, thank you. And if you're coming back, thank you. So we'll get a few cards out for you Pisceans out there. It's thus far looking pretty interesting. Okay. And as I said, we always go through and clarify. So I hope you've been having a nice time over this full moon, leading up to this full moon period. Of course, everything is a continuous wave. All the planetary motions, etc., etc. We start here, Pisces, with the wonderful card of victory. It is a success card. I think there are some Pisceans out there that do feel that they're really kind of reached kind of a peak time at the moment. There's a lot of things going on. There's a lot of things to look forward to. But within the Six of Wands, which is called Victory in the Thoth deck, we do see, I guess, our success in some ways reflected back at us through others, which I always think is interesting, like a confirmation. We then go and come to the Ten of Cups, full bounty expression in the emotional realms here. And we do see it around us. This in itself is a victory, isn't it? Of course, all the tens are at the end of a suit. And so, you know, without putting a bummer on it, I might just turn that down. It is a passing, you know. We get the end of that suit, of cups, and it's full satisfaction. I mean, these two cards together are fabulous, Pisces. Then we get, which can be a bit of a sticky thing, the Seven of Swords. So we're looking at, maybe we've overcome something. I mean, with victory, definitely we have overcome something. In the Seven of Swords, we see maybe our own behaviours, maybe a bit of saboteur behaviour, energy, whatever way you want to look at it. In this card, it can be quite difficult. It can be deception, whether it's on your part or whether it is coming from somewhere else. But I do see it as possibly overcoming the inability to kind of say what you mean up front, like, you know, instead of maybe being deceptive, you know, if it does relate to you or if you feel that it might. But as I said, it could be coming from an external zone, from other people. We then come to another six. So we're bookended by the beautiful six, which sits in that, on that level within the tree of life, which is really all about sort of beauty, really, and harmony and consummate balance. So we come to the Six of Cups, which is really can be about, you know, memories from childhood, memories of the past, people returning to you. We remember in this card, in the Six of Cups, what it is to give freely with no agendas here. So it's pretty amazing, Pisces. Let's go through and clarify. We've got the Morgan Greer deck here. Bear with me. I'm trying to make these videos a little bit shorter because I can get lost if I go on and off on different narratives, so we always try and stick to one. As I said before, take what resonates, leave what doesn't. Check out other signs, because you are made up of many. Ascendant, Moon, Venus, Jupiter are all pretty important. So we're looking at the Six of Wands. We're looking at the victory card for Pisces. Well, we had some kind of issue there. We've got the King of Swords coming out, straight up and down the line. Maybe, you've come to a new understanding within your world, within yourself, about clarity, about being clear. Not to suggest that any Piscean out there is not clear, but I'm saying in terms of thought and action, Pisces. The King of Swords comes through pretty much, without any emotion. There's no emotion in that card. It doesn't belong in that card. Cuts out what's not required, allows what is required to come in. And maybe you've been finding that lately. With that also, we're just sort of looking at that Ten of Cups. We get the Queen of Pentacles, which I do see to be you, Pisces. Good financial position that you're in. It's providing you with the things that you need, actually, after possibly many years, maybe many months of having a little bit of a struggle in that department. So it's a nice combination of emotional fulfillment and, in fact, a good position coin-wise. With it, we had Judgment here, or we have Judgment. Is there any question here about how you use it? Is there a question how you use your resources now? It's kind of interesting. Anyway, Seven of Swords for Pisces. Seven of Swords for Pisces. It's really cold here today. Yeah, there's some information in that Seven of Swords, and possibly about your own behaviours or your particular patterns of behaviour that have become a little bit more apparent. We've got the Hierophant. I see it as, there's either a mentor involved here. You have a mentor, or it's a realizations and information that you have come to understand more fully. There's been like an opportunity to be open to taking one of these keys and opening a door into a new understanding about your own behaviours, Pisces, is the way that I see that. Six of Cups, beautiful card. It's really, we're on a sea here that is full of golden ripples. Now these are connections, emotional connections to others. Interesting. Are we sort of extending ourselves here? Relearning actually what relationships are about, or the way that you do it, the way that you do relationships. We've got the Page of Rods and experimental youthful energy here. Emphasis on learner's mind, emphasis on taking risks, actually. Taking risks. I mean, life is all about taking risks, isn't it? And we hope that sometimes they pay off, and obviously sometimes they don't. But it's all about that. It's like extending our range. Then we've got this Knight of Wands, Rods. The more impulsive, compulsive, fire of fire here we see. So it's kind of explosive, you know. Looking for a, I don't know why I saw that, looking for a you know, fire party or something. It's compulsive energy that can be utilized to a point. It's more utilized more like a furnace sort of thing, you know, in order to achieve, get some various things off the ground and in motion. You know, it is fire. So there's a few things going on here, Pisces, isn't there? Now we're going to use this week. Well, we'll get a Brian Froud. We might just get a animal spirit card, and then I'll get an image or a card, I should say, from my own deck here, the Journey Map deck, which has yet to be printed fully in a professional manner, as it were. Now, but there is something that's boiling away at the moment. Okay, can we ask Pixie and Fairies, Brian Froud? Pixie and Fairy Oracle. Pisces. Ooh, got all sorts of things flying. Boot tray. I might have to turn this music off. It's sort of taking me away somewhere to an enchanted forest. Okay. Right. Oh, interesting. Look, we've got he himself. You know, this is a very earthy character. There's a nice combination here of having, you know, the sort of cloven hoofed connection to the ground, but also being quite lit up and receptive up in the higher echelons here. So, as a very earthy he himself, lit up really from the heart upwards. And that's really what it's all about, isn't it? This life. We then have Nellis the Alchemist. Something's been started within this story quite a long time ago, and it's playing itself out now. So we go along for the ride, Pisces, don't we? Singer of Initiation. A new phase begins, a new period in your life. And it does seem that you have the resources, all the resources that you need. You've got a lot of space to make some decisions here. You're in a secure position. But there are some challenges in terms of questioning, I suppose, behaviours, what you do with your will, how you work with your fire, Pisces. So, very interesting. Oh, Kim Cran's animal. And we have the unicorn popping out. The mythical unicorn. It's a really lovely card, this. It's hard to see in this grainy light. It's very dark and wintry here, but, you know, this mythical creature. For a while there, you know, weren't there? There were unicorns on everything, like pencil cases, blankets, pajamas, everywhere. Yeah. It always reminds me, really, of the imaginary realms. Might be a key to that. Whoa. I'm a bit distracted here today. Now, Pisces, let's get a journey map. Yeah, I do think it's a lot about, you know, listen here. With the Hierophant, we listen here. There are things coming through. So Journey Map, we've got the download director. We're getting some interesting information coming through. We're lighting up a few new neural pathways, you could say, Pisces. This is a wonderful thing. It's a natural evolutionary thing. And then, as I said earlier, I think there's an aspect in this reading that you're understanding how you can use the fire within this will center in a really balanced way. And we have action. It's gorgeous, like a Queen of Wands, really. Action, sight. You going for what you want here. There's no rumination. There's no umming or ahhing. It's taking off big time. Whatever that is for you, Pisces. On that note, thanks for joining me. Take good care over this time. And we will see you next time round, I hope. Thank you again for joining me. Ka kite. Cheerio.